The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Pit Life BBQ podcast. Join us around the pit as we talk all things barbecue. Now here is your host, Johnnie Mags.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. Another episode of the Pit Life BBQ podcast. I'm Johnnie Mags. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of yous. Chrissy, we're going to have a good time today.
We are. I appreciate most of them.
I'm excited. This is going to be epic.
Yes.
Epic. And do I have a funny story to tell too. But first and foremost, I want to wish the boys good luck this weekend at the competition, the New England Pit Masters. Greg, Kevin, Chris, and C-Mac going to be hitting it hard up in the great state of Maine. And the Cora's, the Cora's competition. I forget the full name of it.
I'm sure people know.
Great little charity. Awesome. But the boys have been doing test runs. Greg threw a picture of the ribs the other day. They look tremendous. Kevin's coming off his 10th place call in chicken. So the boys are going to be hitting it hard up in Maine. But let's get to today.
Yeah.
Today's show brought to you by Uncle Steve's Shake. You ever wondered why there's a line and you're trying to get into your neighbor's backyard when they're having a barbecue, but ain't nobody even stopping and looking at your house? Do you know why, Chrissy?
I do, because they're using Uncle Steve's Shake and you're not.
That's right. Uncle Steve uses some of the most freshest ingredients in all his 12 wonderful flavors, including his competition line and his dessert shake.
God, I love it.
And also the new to the market, small batch only still, but the sauce with no name. Absolutely tremendous.
Have we gotten a care package of that yet?
I'll get you a bottle.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy. Uncle Steve has great customer service, so any question you have, he's going to be the one answering the phone, helping you out on anything, getting you the right flavor profile for you. Check out his Facebook page, Uncle Steve Shake Nation, for some extra giveaways and some here and there, some coupon codes. But check that out, UncleSteveShake.com. Shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Two Guys Smoke Shop and TwoGuysCigars.com. Whether I'm barbecuing or not, I always keep the smoke rolling thanks to TwoGuysCigars.com. Oh, this must be my birthday or something. Today I am smoking the La Flor Dominicana and Illusion Bull. You still can't even get these. They came out 5-6 years ago.
I know a guy.
You know a guy. Thanks to TwoGuysCigars.com, I get to smoke some of the best cigars in the world, and so can you. Just visit TwoGuysCigars.com for your perfect barbecue companion. That's the number 2, GuysCigars.com. Also brought to you by Backline Smokers and Backline Fabrication. Ryan Newland is building some of the craziest one-of pits coming out of Austin, Texas today, including mine, only 38 days before I get my hands on that bad boy.
Exciting.
Oh, you have no idea. Ryan, like I said, builds some of the craziest stuff, has from the ground up. You want a little backyard cooker, he's got that. You want the competition size, he's got that. 250, 750, 1,000-gallon trailer smokers, and his Frankenstein, also known as the multi-tool, charcoal grill, plancha, Santa Maria, all in one. Check him out at Backline Fab and Backline Smokers. Ryan builds what you want, not what you need. Also brought to you by Magna Chef Gloves. Our brother Al Infante knows a little something about fire management. He's a Miami-Dade firefighter, and he has designed these gloves from the ground up, and they are incredible. These are the Magna Chef gloves. 100% food-grade silicone patented magnetic clips. Easy on and off, so you will not lose it. Heat rated up to 500 degrees. Web fit for firm grip. One size fits all. Dishwasher safe. And do not forget about the new Freedom gloves. If the 5-finger way is a little bit more your style, the extra long gauntlet sleeve, protect them forearms, still with the patented magnetic clips. And these, my friends, heat rated up to 932 degrees, despite what C-Mac's about to say right now of 7,000. We do not go with that, but these will handle it. Check them out at magnachef.com. That's MAGNECHEF.com. MagnaChef, master the fire. And Freedom gloves, take a stand, free your hands. Also brought to you by Custom Cutting Boards, RUS.com. Ian Hemming is building what I consider the Yeti of cutting boards out of Magnolia, Texas. These cutting boards take an absolute beating, from the dishwasher board, which is your standard countertop board, to the massive 36 by 18 brisket board and the pizza board for that perfect slice every time. High grade protection, non-slip grip. Even on a wet surface, these boards will not slide on you. Multicolors available, that deep, beautiful, deep reservoir to catch all that juicy goodness from whatever proteins you're cooking. Check them out at customcuttingboardsrus.com. That is the letter R, us.com. So let me bring my guest on, and then I'll quickly tell my little story, because I've been giggling like a schoolgirl over this one all day. This was hilarious. Guys, if you follow Instagram, you follow TikTok, and anything in the cooking and barbecue world, you have seen my guest joining me today. His give a shit level is an absolute 0, which makes him an absolute rock star in my book.
Heck yeah.
Has the fun with it, has the passion for it, and man, is he cooking some grub. From competitions to backyard game day wings with pops.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming from Arizona by way of Waddell, Arizona, from Your Behind BBQ, Kyle Matuszewski. What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up, amigo?
Chilling, brother. Chilling.
I appreciate that intro, man. That was good. I like it.
Hey,
you got me all pumped up over here. I'm ready to go.
Hey, man. Turnip Soup Cartel,
That's right, baby.
You
That's
know,
right.
You know.
Welcome to the cartel. I like that shirt. It looked good on you.
Damn straight.
That's
Damn
right.
straight. But real quick, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
So my wife calls me today, and she is giggling. She goes, "You need to hear this." I'm like, "All right." I go, "What's up?" She goes, "The kids are playing outside." Okay, no kidding. You don't say. I guess they're filling the driveway up, and here comes a guy walking the neighborhood with his dog, right?
Yeah.
So he stops and says hello to the kids. How are you, having a good day? You know, having fun? Now, my neighborhood, there's nothing to worry about there, because if you're walking around in your car, you're supposed to be there. I'm in the sticks. I'm
Gotcha.
so secluded, dirt roads, the whole nine.
Yep, that's just like me.
Yeah, so no worries about anybody sitting there talking, and just great people. So they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're having a great time." And then apparently the guy had his phone on speakerphone, and they're looking around because they hear my voice. The guy's listening to the podcast. I'm doing the MagnaChef gloves ad, and he's standing at the end of the driveway, and here I am. So if you're the dude walking your dog in Center Bonstead, bro, stop and say hello, brother, because that's me. You were talking to the kids today. So he's gonna start giggling when he listens to this episode.
Yeah.
I'd shout the
That's
name,
awesome.
but I don't know, brother. Don't
Yes, sir.
know. But let's see real quick here. We got Kent. Thank you. Brother Alton, the dog father. Uncle Steve. Oh, there's the dog father. Gray, what's up? Max, calling you out, bro. Fred, what's happening? Kyle, what's going on? Chris Rosinski, brother. Dave Grover, all the way from Utah, checking in.
Dave's my man.
Dave, good dude, good dude.
Yes, sir. Good dude.
Efren, what's happening? There's Mrs. Maggs, waving to everybody. Darren Lucas, what's going on? Chapin, Fred, Lep, what's going on? There's my man Greg, the barbecue broker, right there, getting ready for the big comp this weekend. And let's see. Ryan Newland, there he is, my man. Why are you watching this? You should be building my pit, son. You only got 38 days before the party. C-Mac in the house. And I see Brother Randy from Big Salinas Barbecue in the house. Shaga is in the house. All right, brother. Brass tacks time. So tell us, who is Kyle? Where you from? How'd you start your barbecue journey, and how did it lead to You're Behind BBQ?
Yes, sir. So growing up, I was big time into sports. My parents were always putting me into sports. So I had a real big competitive edge in me. And in high school, I was on varsity. I played all 4 years. And then the last game of my senior year, I tore my ACL. So all my scholarships, everything that I had planned, I thought I was going to the Dallas Cowboys, baby. I was ready. No, all that got put away, man. And so my dad was always, as I refer to him as Pops, he was always the cook at the house. He cooked all the time. That's all. He loved cooking. So as I got my knee surgery a couple years later, I had a 2-story house and I couldn't get up and down the stairs. And so my dad, he was working in Mexico at the time, and he came into town, and he was helping me around the house. I'm on crutches. I got a busted up knee and whatever. And I found BBQ Pit Masters on TV. So we started watching that, man. And I was watching how much fun this would be. And, cause I was always like a tailgate guy too. So it looked like a tailgate party. Plus you get to cook some food, you get to turn it in, stuff like that. So my dad and I watched probably every episode. And then I believe it was a couple weeks later was his birthday. So I bought him a rinky dink POS from smoker from Home Depot. And we cooked on that all the time, man. Every chance we got, we cooked on that. So then I started looking at competition barbecue, and I found a place, an organization out here in Arizona called Arizona Barbecue, AZ Barbecue. So they were hosting contests and stuff like that. And there was a contest out in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so we had this busted ass motorhome. Looked like Breaking Bad. We filled that up. We had the rinky dink smoker in there, and then I bought 2 WSMs, and we went to the contest. There's all these big wigs there, and there was a team there that was our neighbors. It was Team Eno Serve. I'll never forget them, and they were number 1 in KCBS, and they had this badass trailer. They had, top of the line, looking good. Just everything was just spotless, perfect. So I got to talking with them, and they kind of, guided me, about building boxes. And this is my first time. I'm here to drink. Let's have some fun. So we did the contest. We got 7th place chicken out of 127 teams, 17 or 127 teams, something like that. And we were hooked, man. Everything else we turned in, garbage. Everything was garbage. But you know what? Hey, we got to walk the stage in front of that crowd, and we were hook, line, and sinker. So ever since then, man, my dad and I, we've been competing every year for the past, 9-10 years now, about 3-4 times a month. And then COVID hit, and then we got into this SCA stuff. So I started chasing points in that. And then, yeah, man. So, here I am. And as I was chasing points in the State Cook-Off Association, they have a side category called ancillaries. So you got the steaks, and then they got the ancillaries. So the promoter will pick, like, hey, we're going to do burgers at this contest. We're going to do wings. We're going to do desserts, whatever it is. So that year I hit 54 contests in a year. So I had 2 weekends that I got to actually be at home. Other than that, I was traveling, man. I was chasing those points. So I ended up second place in the nation in the ancillary points chase. And then, yeah, man, I was using this. To help me really stick out, I always thought that, you need to be different. If you're going to do wings, everybody's doing the same old damn wings, man. Everybody's being the same. Let's not be the same. Let's be different, So what did I do? I wrapped my wings in bacon and just different flavoring and different stuff like that. We're real big. We like eating Mexican food. We're really big in Mexican food, green chilies and stuff like that. And my dad and I came up with this recipe, and so I started using it, man, in these contests when I was chasing points. And I think just this flavor stuck out between what everybody else was doing, that people were like, it was so damn good that, they hit me with first place, and I would absolutely kill it with using that rub. So by the time I got done, man, after the long drives with Smitty to different contests from Loot and Booty and Phil, and, I was kind of picking their brain about, I don't want to be just some guy that comes out, another guy that comes out with a rub or something like that. I want to be different. So, so I came out with that, man, and here we go.
That's it. And with the rub we're talking about is the green chili bacon rub.
Yes, sir.
And Chrissy's still over there. Go ahead.
Is my tongue still tingling a little?
Yes.
Or a lot? It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's got a little pep to it.
Yeah, it does. But the thing is, with a lot of rubs, when you try rubs, you got to cook with it because it's a completely different flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you cook with that, a lot of the heat goes away, but it's still there. It's still got a little kick at the end. But
it's worth it for the flavor.
I mean, that's the way we came out with that. And it was, and my partner Kofini, he's the one in, Justin Kofini, him and I both came out with that, and we got 2 more coming out.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah. Like I said, the taste of this, it is so new, so unique.
Yeah.
Is putting it lightly.
I would agree. At this point during your podcast, I've tasted a bunch.
It is completely different than anything we've all tasted. And God knows, that's all we do is taste it. Taste this new season I'm working on. Taste this. They're all great, but this is so unique. Why am I having a hard time with unique?
I don't know.
See, that was the thing. When we came out with that, we didn't want to be your average, no offense to anybody else, but, everyone's got a chicken rub, a beef rub, steak rub, this rub, that rub. We wanted to hit the spots that nobody would have even thought of. Like, you're walking down the aisle of a million rubs and you see a green bottle that says green chili bacon rub. I mean, that'll stop you to grab 100%. That, throw it in the cart. Let's try that.
Oh, for sure.
That was another thing.
For sure. Eric Rabby, what's up? Harold Williamson, Good to Go Barbecue, what's going on? Oh, good friend Bill Purvis from Chicken Fried Barbecue's in the house.
What up, Billy?
Kevin, what's up, brother? Good luck this weekend. Give him hell on the chicken, son. Yeah, Bill's a great guy. Bill's a
great dude.
Great dude.
Great dude.
So, okay, so that's how it all went. The rub came about. Now, how the hell did you get mixed up with Smitty and Phil?
Man, let's see. Probably my second or third contest is when I met Phil and Smitty. So I was set up between Phil and Smitty. And they've already known each other for a while, and there was a lot of trash talking, man. And it's just my dad and I. And I'm thinking, these dudes are crazy.
Yeah, because they did the episode of Smoke together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we were set up next to them, and when I get to drinking, man, you better watch out. Like, so I got to drinking. I went over there, started talking to Smitty, and hey, he's a big drinker. We instantly clicked, man. And and the thing about Smitty, man, I owe him everything because he literally took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. He would try all my barbecue. He would tell me if it sucks, hey, add some salt, add this, do that. try doing this next time, blah, blah, blah. And we just clicked, man. It was, I owe him everything, man. He took me under my wing and pretty much showed me the ropes on everything. So, but with Phil, Phil's a different story, man. He's a great dude. And I met him at the same contest. He actually was dropping, he was pulling ribs out of his smoker and they dropped and fell on the floor. And I was the only one that saw that. He kind of looked at me and we kind of looked at him and, then we connected, we were talking and hanging out and stuff. But yeah, that's my ride or die, man.
Yeah. And we're speaking of Phil the Grill.
Yes, sir.
AKA the Jay-Z of barbecue.
Jay-Z of barbecue.
So in case anybody didn't understand.
I like to call him the LL Cool J of barbecue.
Oh. Yeah. Well, yeah.
You have to ask him about that.
I'm making a note because a certain somebody is coming on next week.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Cool J of barbecue. That is awesome. That is great. So, like you said, you did a lot of cooking with your father. Now,
Yes,
is he obviously has given you a lot of inspiration,
Yes.
And been a real mentor during the whole thing, especially after watching the Pit Masters and you connected on that, and he used his experience over the years, and are you fine tuning his tutelage?
Yeah, a lot of these ancillaries that I do, the side categories, barbecue, him and I both started like learning together about this style of cooking. My dad, he's worked in two or three different restaurants growing up when he was going to school and stuff. And since, he's always cooked, he's got, tons of years of experience on me. And whatever the category is, I'd go over to his house or he'd come over to my house maybe 3-4 times a week. And we would go through a practice and, and he's taught me a lot of things, man. Like I owe him everything. He's taught me a lot.
Nice. All right. So, the word ancillary keeps coming up. So that's just a natural segue into the story of a certain ancillary category of appetizer. And you, being an out-of-the-box thinker, really shoved it right up the hoop of everybody. And to the point of we had a certain bigwig company was getting a little upset with you, but which gave birth to the Turnip Soup Cartel.
Yes, sir. It's the
How
cartel,
about
baby.
that?
It's like Fight Club.
So it was if I'm not mistaken, it was an ancillary category for appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
So why soup? How, first and foremost, how? This is the real question I have. How do you put soup in a turn-in box?
Wow. So those little, like a contest, people use those little shot glasses, those little.
The little plastic ramekins.
Little 6 ounce. Yeah. Like little 6 ounce little plastic cups. Well, that's what I turned the soup in.
Okay.
How it started was Smitty was there. And I think this was a dessert contest. So I'm going to drop my own top. Dessert, steak, and an appetizer. So I turned some stuff in and I was chasing points, man. Like I didn't care about the steak. I only cared about the ancillaries. So steak was behind me. I would throw it on whenever I don't have like a timeline or anything for it. I was there for the ancillaries. So as I go and turn all my stuff in and, we've all been drinking and we're getting ready to go to awards and they're going through the top 10 in ancillaries. And Smitty looks over at me. He's like, hey, man, he's like, don't be going up there and telling these people what you're doing. Do not tell, if it's working, do not tell them what you're doing. So I was like, shit, okay, I got you. So I took first place in both categories and I told turnip soup. I made turnip soup. So next contest, it was a appetizer contest. And my dad is a giant soup fan. Like this dude could eat soup every damn day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
So, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, let's try to make this turnip soup. Like, let's try to make it. So we made some turnip soup, put it in those little ramekins, turned it in. It was a cold day in California, turned it in. Boom, first place. Go up there, turnip soup. Everyone's thinking, this guy's turning in soup and beating us. Guys doing jalapeno poppers, wings, they got lamb chops, they got all this crazy stuff, and some parent does soup. So as I'm going on my drive home, I get this Instagram message from a person in Vegas, and this person goes off on me, like totally goes off. Like, you're telling me you're turning in soup for a dessert contest, or not a dessert contest, for an appetizer contest, and you're taking first place. She goes off. You're a cheater. You're this. That's not an appetizer. And she's going off on me. And from that moment on that drive home, I was like, you know what? It'll be forever turnip soup, because if you're going to come up to me like a dick,
yeah,
I made turnip soup. You are not going to know what I made. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Unless somebody came up to me and was like, hey, look, I'm struggling in this category. I've done this, this, and this. You know, if you're going to be nice about it, I'll tell you everything I do, because guess what? You still got to cook it.
Yeah.
You still got to cook it. So we get down to the World Championship in Texas, and it's the World Steak Championship. And they took all the ancillary top 10 guys, everybody that was in the top 10 in ancillaries that were chasing points. We're going to take you out there, and you guys are going to compete head to head, see who's the best. So they said, you're not going to find out what you're going to make until you get there. So within like 2 or 3 days of us leaving, we all get an email that says, hey, we're going to provide you with beef bacon, and you got to make a dish with beef bacon. And I'm thinking, I'm in Arizona, man. We ain't got beef bacon out here. I'll tell you that. I was all over the place trying to find some beef bacon. I got what I'm going to do. So I made turnip soup. Okay. We turned it into championship. They call me for second place. So I walk up on the stage and I yell, what's your name? Where are you from? What'd you make? Blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I'm Kyle. You're behind barbecue. And I made turnip soup. And I did the mic drop. And people are, and it's not like they're clapping. Everyone's like, it's like that silent, like, what? What the hell did they make? So I also placed 9th place in my category for the steak. So I qualified to cook for the World Championship in steak. And then I took second ancillaries. So as I'm at my trailer, I'm getting ready to cook this steak for $10,000. So I'm zoned in. Music's up, Phil the Grill's there, a couple of them, and we're zoned in, bro. So this dude comes up to me, and I can tell he's been drinking a little bit. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, and I got this shirt on. It says Kyle up in the corner. He's like, hey, are you Kyle? And he's like, did you really do turnip soup yesterday? I was like, yeah. And a couple of my buddies start kind of giggling and stuff. And he's like, man, he's shaking his head. He's like, I am so offended you turn in a turnip soup. And I was like, what? Why? He's like, I am the executive chef of Campbell's Soup Company. And I would have never thought of to make turnip soup. And we can chat when I'm done. I got 2 minutes before I got to put my steak on. I'm cooking for $10,000. Just come back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Mumbled something under his breath. Cooking my steak, Phil, everybody's laughing. Okay, so turning my steak, hour goes by. I'm loading up the trailer. I'm inside the trailer. And my dad's outside with Phil the Grill and everybody. And this dude comes back and he sticks his head in the trailer and he's jabbering, saying something. I have no idea what he's saying. I'm trying to walk out of the trailer and he kind of looks at my dad. He said something to my dad. And then Phil the Grill came over and looked at this dude. He's like, now, excuse my language. You better get out of this camp and leave right now. And he's throwing his hands up, walking off, blah, blah, blah. So the asshole that I am, I got a Campbell's soup can and I put turnip soup on it. And it says, you're behind barbecue on the top where it's supposed to say Campbell's. And I rocked that for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's beautiful. So the chef at Campbell's Soup didn't even think about turning in soup.
Yeah. And then it turned into this thing, man. It just snowballed into this whole cartel because, I'm close. I'm close with the guys we cook against, and we all want to do good. We all want to beat each other, but we cheer on everybody.
Oh, hell yeah!
And And so like people started catching on, a few of my buddies, they go up there, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from Arizona and I made turnip soup. Or they would go up there and say, yo, Turnip Soup Cartel, baby. Because you know what? We're not going to tell you guys what we cooked, man. We worked our ass off, and I cooked 3-4 times a day or a week leading up to this contest on what I'm going to cook. So I'm not going to go up on stage and tell you what I made. Because if you beat me, a lot of the people go up there and say what they made, say what they did. And if you beat me, I'm the guy in the crowd. And I got my notes open on my phone, and I am typing everything you did that you said you did, and I'm going to make that 10 times better and come back and beat you with that.
Yep.
So
exactly.
That's kind of my
exactly.
Not to sound cocky or anything, but that's just you worked hard on a recipe. Why am I going to give it to you? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah. And like you said when you first started, when you recovering from the knee, you're watching Pitmasters. And, a lot of us guys now, we have that same story that we turned on, flicking through the channels one day, and we run across BBQ Pitmasters, start watching it, and next thing you know, you're like 3 or 4 episodes in, and it's like, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
And then, and I remember, because I'm a lot visual.
Yeah.
So I was joking with Bill Purvis when he was on the other week, and I really wasn't joking, but, with this whole BBQ USA thing, I'll go and watch the season and enjoy the season.
Yep.
Then I'll go back and watch.
And pause it.
And I'll look past you and see what's in the background.
Exactly.
That's a Blues Hog, Chipotle barbecue sauce, or there's Cosmo's Dirty Bird. There's his brisket injection. There's that. I'm taking the little bits and this, and I literally wrote all that shit down. I'm mixing. One particular it might have been the very early Pitmasters when they were actually following the 5 teams around. So they were following Big Mo, Myron, Tuffy, Michael Character.
Yep.
And this was when Mo was still cooking on the eggs. Okay, so this was the beginning. And right in his trailer, he had the 2 bottles of different Blues Hog. So it's like, got them mixed, because it showed you he's mixing these jars.
Yeah.
And his hands were covering the labels, but when he put them down, you could just tell from the design of the side with the Blues Hog logo.
Yep.
It's like, okay, so now I'm mixing those. Okay, there you go. And if anybody wants a killer combo, take the original and the Tennessee Red.
Tennessee Red, yep.
Yep, that's a combo right there.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're coming into football season.
Let's go.
Obviously, I know you're a boys fan.
America's team, baby. That's the only team. That's it.
No college.
I like ASU, man, but, I don't really pay too much attention. But I'm an Arizona State fan, but no, I'm Cowboys forever.
All right. So week 1, okay? Yep. We got the Dallas Cowboys versus my New England Patriots.
Oh,
all right.
You want to throw a bet down?
I just happen to be in Arizona.
Oh,
and you catch wind and you drop a brother a line going, yo, let's go.
Okay.
All right. So I come over to the casa, me, you, Pops, and whoever else.
Yes, sir.
What are we throwing down on game day, brother?
Bacon wrap wing. Oh, chicken wing fanatic, man. So bacon wrap wings with some green chili bacon rub on it. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Nice. Nice.
That's all you need.
So we're watching the game, and it unfortunately it ends in a tie. So there is no winner, no loser. We're the winners in the group because of the camaraderie, the friendship, the wings, a few adult beverages.
Yes, sir. A lot of those.
So we decide to sit down and do a podcast. Tell me about Don't Drop the Tongs.
Oh, man. Well, offense to anybody else, there's a lot of podcasts out there. You know, they're all kind of the same. I mean, we all interview people and Phil and I, you know, we've been cooking a lot of steak contests together, and there's always been people that would always come up to us and be like, man, like, I would love to be a fly on the wall on your guys' conversations. And then we'd always tell them, like, no, you probably don't want to be, because we talk a lot of shit, you know. We joke around, we're bashing each other constantly, and, you know, we just talk. So, you know, that kind of gave us I got a buddy that works at the radio station here in Phoenix, and I've been friends with him for, 16, 17 years probably. And he's been wanting to try to do podcasts and stuff, and I kind of brought up the idea. I said, yo, I mean, we got two guys that do competitions. One owns a restaurant, one travels all the time and does contests. And then you got a guy he barbecues, he's a backyard barbecuer, really familiar with the whole, you know, competition scene and what happens and what goes on. So, like, he could kind of be the mediator and kind of break us down, like, okay, so what do you mean there? Like, what do you mean by this or that? Or, so we kind of wanted to do a podcast and just us two talking shit and hanging out and telling, you know, it's kind of like you go to a barbecue contest, you get there, we usually go on Thursdays. There's a bunch of us that kind of go, and we kind of, we call it a happy hour. So we're sitting around the fire, we're all talking shit to each other, telling all the stories that, like, you know, that's out there that really, like, the general public don't really know, or it's not really broadcasted on Facebook. You know, it's kind of one of those stays on a Thursday. Whatever happens on a Thursday stays on a Thursday. Yep. So I kind of said, yo, let's bring that to light, because there's stories and stuff that, you know, we could kind of bring out. And of course, we're going to piss some people off, but you know what? If they know who we are, then they know it must be enough.
Yeah.
So we came out with this podcast, man. It's called Don't Drop the Tongs. Every Wednesday we come out with it. This one's going to be actually pretty good. We got a couple Thursday night stories in here that are going to literally change somebody's life. Like, not, I mean, in a way, but this dude's life has changed because of a Thursday night. So okay, you have to tune in. It's good.
I will.
It'll be good.
Like I said, so this is going to be episode 3 coming up.
Yes,
you know, we've already had the 2, and I caught the first 2, and you know, the first one, you boys had me in friggin' hysterics. You know, then the second one, same thing. You know, hysterics, and you know, but also, you know, you're talking about the cooking, you're talking about your experiences. The second one was the experience at the Memphis in May. You know, you and Phil and the judges, and I don't want to ruin it, guys. Go check it out. They're right around an hour a piece.
Yep.
Well worth the listen. Check it out. Don't drop the tongs. Big Rome, what's up? Danny, what's happening? Kyle has a question. Ask Kyle what would be his second soup he would make.
Second soup? Oh, second clam chowder. Clam chowder soup would be my next one.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on.
Hey,
I've been waiting years to drop one of these, because ever since I started this 4 years ago at the very beginning, I got what the hell does a boy from New England know about barbecue? What the hell does a boy from Arizona know about clam chowder?
I'm telling you. You know what? My next door neighbor, they were born and raised in Boston. They came out here, bought this house. And she would make clam chowder every, Halloween. Every Halloween, she would bring clam chowder over. And I fell in love, man. I was a kid trying that. I was like, damn, this is the best. So she taught me. She took it all down, taught me how to make it. And I could kill a clam chowder.
Nice. All right. I'll take it. You know, I'll take your word on it. We're gonna have to try it at some point. Bruce Leach, what's happening?
Turnip soup sounds better on a T-shirt, anyways.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So, we had talked a little bit earlier today, and we were talking about, you know, the boys going to having the KCBS competition up in Maine this weekend, And, I was telling you, we only really have a handful of, KCBS sanctions. It's getting better through a lot of the local groups, NEBS, New England Barbecue Society. Kathy Trainer is big hand in that. But you said something very interesting that you only have one competition in Arizona. So if you want to compete, you're traveling.
Yeah, you're traveling. You're going to California. You're going to Utah. You're going to Vegas, New Mexico. But yeah, mostly those 4 states. Arizona's got one contest, man.
Crazy.
Best contest I've ever been to, too. But it's called Slaborama, and that's always at the beginning of the year in January. We have a lot of.
Oh, I think we have some internet issues.
Oh.
We'll get him back.
There we go. You're
is.
back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you froze up for a quick second.
Okay. Yeah. So there's another organization called Barbecue Championship Series. They hold contests here in Arizona, and they probably do too. But it's I wouldn't say it's like backyard, but it's like between backyard and like professional. Like, if you got some new recipes you want to go try, you can go there. Go to those contests. But I like KCBS contests. So if you want to cook in that, you're traveling. You want to do an SCA contest, you're traveling.
Oh, for sure. And you just got back from this weekend. You were doing a SCA event up in Utah, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a quad.
Yes, sir.
So 2 Friday, 2 Saturday.
An ancillary in both.
In one ancillary in both, or?
1 Friday, 1 ancillary Saturday.
So 2 steaks a day and an ancillary. Wow, you were cooking full.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it was. That's my first time ever doing a quad, and they're fun, man. Like they're good content. I like the contests too because they're so easy. It's like, I shouldn't say easy, but I mean, you show up, you set up a table, you set up a grill, you set up a chair, you got your cooler full of beer. Now you're just hanging out. They supply the steaks. You go pick your steak, come back, and throw it on the grill, turn it in, and that's it. It's a wrap. You're done. So, yeah, we went up there. Phil and I drove. Here's another one you can bust Phil with. He was my truck got sideswiped. So I got sideswiped on the freeway. So coming home from work, and I had to drop my truck off at the dealership to get fixed. So I don't got a truck to go anywhere, and I got the trailer and everything. So Phil was going. So I talked to Phil. And he showed up at my house, and he backed up to the trailer, put it in park, got out, got in the front seat, and shut the door. So I've hooked up the trailer. I called him a dick, and I drove the 12 hours to Utah. So then he got to sleep. We had to stop every 20 minutes. He had to go to the bathroom. He had to eat. He needed water. He needed this guy. I call him Princess. So yeah, so we get there. We do 2 steaks on Friday. I got my ass kicked on Friday night. We went out, had some beers, came back Saturday, turned in 2 steaks, turned in a sausage. I got 6th in sausage. And then I took 2nd place on steak A, and I took 1st place on steak B.
Golden ticket, baby.
And a golden ticket. Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go. Sir. World champs.
Yes,
World
sir.
Championships. That's awesome. That's awesome. Princess Phil.
yeah. Bring that up.
The best thing, all these boys in the chat, they're gonna remember this shit. So
good. Hey, bash him.
They'll be all
slide into his DMs. Call him a princess.
Oh yeah, Chapin. That's right. He should come up next year for the Chowder Fest comp C-Mac puts on. Oh yeah.
Clam chowder contest.
Oh yeah.
One
of our boys. C-Mac, Craig McPherson, he holds he was originally from the Bay Area, and got married, met his wife, got married, and she was from Amesbury, Mass. So they moved back out to the East Coast. Yeah. And while he was out in the Bay Area, he would have this event called Ribberfest. Everyone would cook something different, not necessarily ribs, but little backyard barbecue, just close friends. And each year it grew and grew and grew. So he kept it going here.
Nice.
And it has gone haywire. We're talking couple hundred people.
That's awesome.
300-400 people show up just for the event. So he'll have, 10, 12 teams cooking a bunch of stuff. Last year I did a little play on a barbecue Sunday.
Okay.
And, I put it in those plastic ramekins, so you had the entire barbecue plate Sunday in a shot.
Yeah.
And our buddy Greg, he did the deep fried ribs and took the whole thing with the deep fried ribs, which were killer.
Wow.
But yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, he does a chowder fest.
You guys is there security there?
No, he is the security. He's about 6'10".
Okay, so if an Arizona guy comes in there and whoops everybody's ass, y'all gonna get me out?
You're good. You're good. I'll make sure
you guys
of
might
it.
smoke me. You guys might smoke me, man. I don't know. But yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Sundays were tasty. There he is. Yeah, nothing to worry about around here, brother. Nothing to worry about. Oh, man, that was awesome. But, brother, like I said, unfortunately, I'm up against it. But, man, it was fun talking to you, brother. Like I said, we knew we were going to kick off a little bit, have some fun, and we sure as shit did. But, oh, fuck. First off, congratulations on the draw for the Jack, son.
Yes. I'm jacked up.
I was telling, I forget,
ready.
I think it was it Smitty I was saying it to? It had to have been Smitty. And it was the day of the drawing, and of course, Facebook is loaded with the, good luck to everybody, and, hope you guys get drawn, and if not, we'll do it for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then later on in the day, I stopped and turned on TikTok, and I just see a pool, in the good, nice weather, and I got Eminem, Guess Who's Back.
That's right.
And all of a sudden, here comes you with a bottle of Jack, put it to the camera, take a swig. I'm like, oh shit, he got the draw.
Yes, sir.
Then
I went round two, baby.
Then I looked, and oh man, that is awesome. So when's that? That's second week in October?
I think it's the second or third week of October. Yeah.
Nice.
I know. I'm pumped up, man. I'm pumped up. I had a great experience last year, but you know what? We fell short. And I just think, crazy story real quick. So Smitty and I went out there, and our other partner, Justin Kofini, he couldn't come. So it was just him and I. We tag teamed everything, And so our turn-ins were good. So now it's dessert time. So it's the ancillary time. So he's like, I'm not doing shit. You're doing the ancillaries. I said, okay. Dude, I made this Jack Daniel's pecan pie cheesecake, and I got 7 slices down on this platter, and I got this cake stand with a whole pie on top on this platter. It's absolutely beautiful, right? So I'm walking, and Smitty's wife is with me, and she's kind of blocking the crowd, getting it away, moving the crowd away so I can slowly make it up there. Now it's humid as hell, and walking, and I'm looking at my slices, and some of the slices are starting to lean, and I'm like, oh shit. So to the left of me, there's a table next to a guy that's cooking on one of these massive Kamado Joes. He's grilling up a bunch of sausage for the public. So there was a table there. So I said, Molly, Sterling's wife, I was like, hey, let's go to that table because I'm going to try to fix these slices. So I turn and I go over to set it on the table. The cheesecake on top fell over on this dude's grill.
Oh,
no. And so the whole crowd that was kind of around there, they start screaming hysterically, like, oh my God. And then now I have all these phones all around my face as they're trying to videotape all this. So within an instant, like I picked that cheesecake up and I put it back. And it's got grill marks. It's not good. And we had like 2 minutes before turn in, and Molly looks at me and she's like, do you want me to go get some napkins? Like, what do we do? And I'm like, fuck it. Let's turn it in. Just let's go turn it in. Turned it in. I was the worst looking dessert, man. It was horrible. But we get to awards, and I'm going around talking to my buddies, and they're asking me, how'd everything go? And I start telling them this story. And they feel so bad for me. Like they feel, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, man. It is what it is. So they call us for a 7th place dessert. And all my buddies look at me like, you sandbagging son of a bitch. Like, come on, man. You really gonna sandbag us? And I was like, yo, bro, I swear to God, like this thing fell on this dude's grill. Dude had no idea what to do, man. There's a whole cheesecake on his grill. So we walked out of there with the 7th place dessert. It was good, but I'm coming with fire this year.
Awesome. Awesome, brother. Like I said, Kyle, thank you, man, for taking the time.
Sir.
This has been a blast. Where can everybody find you social media?
All social media, You're Behind BBQ. You can buy my rub behindbbq.com or some retail locations online have them. There's about 30 stores are carrying the rub now. But yeah, come follow me on TikTok, You're behindbbq.com, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget to watch Don't Drop the Tongs this week. I'm telling you, this is an epic week.
All right, brother. All right, let me close this out. Hang on one second. I'll jump right back in with you real quick. Awesome, Chrissy.
Cool.
Awesome. So much fun. Fun. Yeah, he's a riot. He's an absolute riot. But like I said, great guy. Passionate about it. Keeps the fun in it no matter what.
Which, of course you should. Take life too seriously.
No, that's for sure. But let's wrap this the hell up, Chrissy.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Catch the audio wherever podcasts are found. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You have all our episodes right there at your fingertips. On social media, find us at all the links down below. Questions and comments, please send them to Pit Life BBQ Podcast at gmail.com. And like always, subscribe, rate, and review. Hit that share button. And if you are the dude walking the dog in the neighborhood, brother, you know where you talk to the kids. Stop and say hi. We'll throw some smoke in the air. Fill the grill next week. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.